Welcome to Level Up with CMJ. Hey, my name is Joe, and this is my Craps Master dice shooting journey. Let's make it yours too. Today is episode number 292 of the Level Up program and day number 2 of the Black Belt. If you're new to the program, this is about my shooting the dice at the craps table on a daily basis, as well as practicing a blue-collar craps style of play. If you're playing along with Crapsee, the code today is G4L4W8. And if you notice on the screen there, I have warning results, and it has a C1, which is a E slash ST, and then an I slash SA. That means that cousin one set, if it explodes on one of the dice and it single pitches away, or towards me, I'm sorry, then that would be a warning sign, or if it implodes or single pitches away. And I have that up there, guys, for reference for you guys, so you can kind of hopefully interpret a little bit as I go along with the dice sets. And then obviously the C2 would be the cousin 2 set if we do get to that set. And I'll kind of explain things as we go along here. But in the chat, we got number 1 checking in, Uncle Hoku. He was actually in before I even got the live stream set up today. We got Roger from OMC Craps. We got Coffee Land, Rick S, and Coach Joe. On the kick.com side, I have nobody yet, so make sure that if you are following along and you want a little bit more of a live time for Crapsee play, check out the kick.com side of things. We got 9 people on YouTube right now currently watching, as well as 3 likes, so make sure you smash that thumbs up button on the way out if you do enjoy this content. Yesterday was a little bit of a slow day. We had one decent roll. I think we had 5 or 6 shooters. I can't remember what it was, but it was not a very good day. But it was a day that was full of talking, a day of getting back and trying to get back into the swing of things after our trip. And even the chats were coming across really super fast, so it's hard for me to keep up. A lot of distractions. Not using it as an excuse, but that was practical. That was what was happening. But I did a little bit of warm-up today, and hopefully everything will settle out. We got Joel checking in on YouTube. Good morning. So let's get started right away. We have a little bit of recovery to do from yesterday. We had lost $185 off of our bankroll. Bankroll yesterday was starting at $1,500, and my goal is to get back up to the $1,500 level today if we can. We'll see how it goes. And we got Jason checking in, as well as Buckeye Slim checking in on the YouTube side of things. So let's get started, guys. Get your bets in on Crapsee. We had 9 people there. And make sure that you press that I am ready button when you are ready. And Jason says he cannot get kicked to work. Might need an update on the app. That could possibly be. It is live streaming currently on Kick. It has 3 minutes and 48 seconds in on the new live stream here. So anyhow, let's get started here. We have, again, $10 pass line bet. I'm not going to do any specialty ATS bets or craps checks right now. We'll just stick with our line bet. And let's go all bets set, dice out. Good morning, Ron, checking in on YouTube. So we're going to start off with a 3-2-3-6 dice set. I switched over to the blue dice today. And we're going to be looking for good mechanics here. Dice did land, and that was not good mechanics the way they landed. That right one flew way over the left one. We got a 617 for a start. And that was the first time, actually, because I did a couple warm-up throws today, and that was the first time I've ever that it did that. Most of my dice were staying on axis, so I'm actually going to be feeling pretty good here. So the first question you have to ask when you do the rhythm rolling is, was that good mechanics? I'm going to say no on that because of the way the dice landed. I think that the right die landed after the left die did, so they did not land flat. So we're going to stick with the $10 pass line bet. Again, no crap check, no ATS. And so we're just going to keep on with the 3-2-3-6 dice it because the first question was a no. Was there good mechanics? And the answer was no. So let's stick with that. And we'll call that all bets set here. Dice out. Good morning, Mike. 85 Bears checking in. That was a little bit better. We have another come out 7 pass line winner, Netral, 5-2. And that one is a little bit better. The arc was not quite there. So I'm going to say maybe on the mechanics. But if we were to do the second step, we would say was that a warning shot. And that was a warning shot because that was a single pitch towards us on that left die, and that was an explosion on the right die. But now the next question is, was there a 3 or 4 on top? No. But was that repeatable? So in other words, did we do that same type of roll once before? And I'm going to say no on that. So we'll go back to the 3-2, 3-6. And these are the questions that are running through my mind as I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do the rhythm roll and how we're going to adjust the dice set for the next roll. So let's go $10 pass line bet again. We have no Crapsee, no ATS in all bet set. $20 brought back to the rack so far with 2 mediocre to crappy rolls to start off the session. So days out. Slightly long in the landing zone. Mechanics were there this time. And we have a 3-5-8. That is the great 8. So our first point will be an 8. So again, we'll go through the questions. The questions are, was that good mechanics? That mechanics were for the most part there. Is there a warning sign? No, because we did not go off axis on either of the die. Actually, we did go off axis on that right die. It actually imploded on us. But we have a primary on the other one, so that's not a warning sign. So that means we're going to, and there's a 3 on top, so we're going to stick with that 3-2, 3-6. If there's not a 3 or a 4 showing on top, then that means that we're going to have to do some quarter turns. I'll explain it as we go. Starting off the day here, we're going to go with the skill 66. Remember, I am practicing as if it is a $10 table, and that skill 66 is a $10 strategy, even though we got $15 on the 5 and 9, 18 on that 6. Pass line odds, let's go $10 pass line odds. And let's call that all bet set. Dice out. We got Seth Julie checking in on kick. So good morning. And here we go. Base up. Good mechanics and terrible result. So that is our warning result there, 257, ouch. Which kind of makes me a little upset because my practice rolls, everything was on axis. We had no warning shots at all. And then I start talking and lose focus a little bit, and that's exactly what happened. So let's do a little bit of less talk, let's do a little more focusing, and let's get her going again. So that was actually $48 loss on that one. We had not quite as big of a loss because of those come out naturals. So again, $10 pass line bet. Buckeye swearing at me. You can just call me Joe, not Jesus. So anyhow, let's go all bet set here and dice out. So yeah, let me get warmed up here a little bit, guys. 3-2, 3-6, dice out. A little short on the landing zone, 437, so I don't think I could throw any more 7s here today. Guys, if you didn't check out Mid-Atlantic Craps yesterday for his D8 session, season number 3, I think it is, and that was the first one for this season. He had a 69 roller. His first shooter was a 69 roller, so make sure you go check that out. That was almost hour and 45 minutes long of a roll, so that was an amazing roll. So congratulations to Jeff for being able to get a roll that long, first of all, but second of all, to be able to have it on live video. So that was really neat as well. So good job for Jeff. Again, $10 pass line bet here. I already have 3 people went out of Crapsee because of the slow start here. But we'll turn it around really fast. Dice out. Good mechanics. The dice did cross on me, but that is normal for my shot. We have a 268 Duracell 8. Go on, support free live craps. Give thumbs up where deserved and subscribe if you like the content. Good morning, Kevin. Says he can't stick around. He's got to focus on work stuff. So happy Tuesday he goes. Happy Tuesday back to you, my friend. Again, we're going to go 66 inside bet level. We'll go $10 pass line odds. And the 66 inside level is $15 on that 5 and 9, 18 on the 6. So that was a single pitch on both dice. So it was a primary front face. So that means we stick with the 3-2-3-6. There was not a 3 or 4 on top, but that was the first die for a little bit here, I think. Yeah. So we're not going to rotate the dice, but we're going to stick with the 3-2-3-6 because that was a primary hit. So let's go all bet set here. And dice out, looking for inside numbers here. And we have another 156 time. This time is a KitchenAid mixer. And I'm also going to call that, no, I'm not going to call that a Buckeye buckshot because 8's the point. I thought the 6 was silly me. So anyhow, we got 156, the KitchenAid mixer. So that's going to be our first box hit on this shooter. And we're going to do inside pressure 1 unit on each of them. So we got $20 on a 5 and 9, 24 on that 6. We're going to keep our pass line odds at, no, we're going to bring it up to $15. So we're going to add another $5 on there. And that was an implosion on that left die. And that was an implosion on our right die. So it was a double implosion. And that's not a normal result for me. So we'll go back to the 3-2-3-6. Mechanics was there. And we did not have a 3 or 4 on top. That's the second one in a row. So that means that we're going to roll those dice away from us, 1/4 turn each. So we're going to go with a 2-4-3 or 6-4, 2-4-6-4 dice set. So it's still a 3V dice set, just so we're turning the 3V away from us. So let's call that all bet set here and dice out. And we have magic aces, 1-1-2. So those mechanics there, yeah, I could have had a little bit more arc, but the landing zone was there, the energy of the dice was proper, the grip felt good, the release felt good. So we're just going to call that a whatever, but we have FGK checking in there on YouTube. So it's up to you if you want to lay to 4 or 10. Sometimes I hit massively on the 4s and 10s. Other days I do not. So take the 4 and 10 at your own risk. I think JR22 will vouch for that statement because he, I burned him a lot one of the days on the 4s. So enter at your own risk, my friend. Anyhow, last one was an 11. That is no help for our bets. So we're going to call it the same bet, all bet set. And dice out. And we have a 6-5 mid-mo yo. That's Chiro coming to us from above. And again, this time it was a drift of the dice. So they've drifted left on this time. So we're looking for consistency here. And hopefully as we get warmed up, the consistency will come. So he's looking for a 4 or 10. We need that 9 and 10, as well as a 12 for the tall, 3, 4, 5 for the small. So that was a drift left on the dice. Again, we'll stick with the 3, 2, 3, 6. And actually, we should probably roll them away from us. We're going to go again back to the 2, 4, 6, 4 dice set because we have not been getting any 3s or 4s on top. So that was no help for us on that last one. We'll go all bet set again. 2 craps numbers in a row. Let's turn this into some inside numbers so we can get out of this shooter. Dice out. I veered off to the left a little bit from my landing zone, but we have a 3, 2, 5, Justice 5. And that is a primary on the left die. That is a explode on the right die. And that is our second hit, so we got out of the shooter. So we're going to be able to bring our bets down. We'll go to the 44 inside bet level. And that means we have $59 brought back. We have 42 on the table because the pass line is the 8. So you get $10 on the 5 and 9, $12 on the 6. Our next goal here from a betting perspective is to get our bets to the 25 or the 110 inside bet level, if you will. So. FG is saying it's a double pitch with that yo. Actually, it would have been if it would have been the other way around. I had this 6-5. If it would have been a 5-6, then yes, you would be 100% correct. That was a double pitch, but it was actually the other way around. You have to make sure you track your dice because that's a good catch there. Good morning, Jalen is checking in here. But that's a good check, a catch here, FG. But if the dice were switched around, you would have been 100% correct on that double pitch. But it was not that way. The left die was the 6, and the right die was the 5. So, and I start off with a 3, 2, 3, 6. So if you check that, the dice combinations there, then that would be correct. But anyhow, we'll go same bet here. We had a 5 that brought our bets down. We're at the 44 inside bet level. Dice out. 3, 2, 3, 6. And we have a 2, 6, 8, the Duracell 8. So that is a single pitch on both dice, a primary front. So that is actually a primary hit since they're both single pitched at the same revolutions around. So that is our point that we hit. So we'll be coming out looking for a new point. $69 brought back to the rack, 42 on the table. Again, we'll just roll these dice back here, 3, 2, 3, 6. And let's call that all bets set here. Make sure you press that button in a timely manner for me, please. Uh-oh, what happened to my screen? Ha! That don't look good. Well, I don't even know what happened there. Let's see if we can figure that out really quick. Oh, that's because my camera turned off, I think. So let's reset that camera really quick, guys, and I apologize for that. Hopefully that just happened. For some reason, my phone started up or something. I use phones here, so that's better. I apologize for that. I'm glad we caught that right away. So hopefully that works now. So anyhow, we'll call that all bets set here. Dice out. So we're looking for a new point. 3, 2, 3, 6. Slightly short on that landing zone, but we're back on the 8. Again, 3-5, grade 8. And that's obviously after Leon from Great Craps. So let's do, we're going to keep that as is right now. We're not going to do any pass line odds. If we do hit the 8 again, I'm definitely putting odds on that, or putting more money on the 8. So that was a primary on that left die. That was a implosion again on the right die. Go back to 3236. And we'll go all bet set. You would be correct in that, Buckeye too. That doesn't happen very often for me though. I think what's happening is the phone that I'm using actually has to have an update, and it's, I think, trying to do the update. I'm not allowing it to do that. So, and I'm about on day 3 or 4 of it needing an update without actually doing it. So, but anyway, let's go all bet set here. Dice out. That right die did stick, and this time it is a 6-5 again. So the same result as before. That is not the double pitch. That is the implosion on, I'm sorry, that's the drift left on both of the dice. And that could be, Buckeye, with your, I actually had similar problems at one time, and I went out and I bought actually a pretty powerful computer. I had Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps help me pick something out that would work, and all I have on the computer I'm using for the show now is just OBS. I don't put anything else on there. There's Excel on there so I can do some of the graphical stuff, but all the other stuff I do, I have it on my other computer, and then I transfer it over if I need it on this computer using a external hard drive. So that way I can hopefully reduce the amount of usage or CPU usage in that. So he's asking if that's considered a primary hit. That is not a primary hit, because if you look, when I announced my dice, I announced the left one first, the right one second. And let's go through this really quick, guys, and I will show you what I'm talking about with that. I think this is the screen right here. So if we go to our dice analyzer, and if you guys look at it, it says advanced rhythm rolling dice analyzer. That's because I use that on my Blackville video coming up, so I have to change the titles. But we have on the left die a 3-2, the right one's a 3-6. So what we're getting is that 6-5. So that would mean that that left die here is exploding, and the right die is imploding. So what's happening is they're drifting to the left. Okay. You had mentioned about it being a double pitch, and if it would have been the other way around, if we would have had a 5-6 instead of the 6-5, because remember I announced that left die first, if it would have been a 5-6, that would have been a double pitch, because that would be a single pitch towards us on the left and a single pitch away from us on the right, which is ultimately a double pitch. So hopefully that helps clear that up and explains that a little bit on why I'm calling it the way that I am calling it. So let's go 3-2, 3-6. And our last one was an 11 again. So let's call that all bet set. And dice out. And again, we need to get some consistent on-axis throws here. And we have a 2-6. That would be the Kevin the Carpenter 2-4. And that one is a double pitch on the right die and a single pitch on the left die. So that's ultimately a single pitch of the dice. And that's going to allow us to go to $18 on that 6. So we're just going to up it by 1 unit so that we're bringing some money back. We're putting some money back on the table. $83 brought back to the rack. We got 48 on the table. And again, we had a 3 or 4 showing this time, so that was a positive. I don't like the double pitch portion of it, of that right die, but we'll call that all bets set there. Good morning, Brian. He says we have a shooter. This is our first double-digit roll here since we started a black belt, so that's a positive, I guess. And Buckeye's asking if I ever tried reducing the energy in my launch. And that, my friend, is I actually have a very low energy throw, even though it does not appear to be so. And Brian Flegel, who's in the chat right now, did come over to my house once and saw my table. I do have a semi-bouncy table, so even if it's low energy on my throw, it looks like higher energy because of the bounce on the table. In fact, when I was down in Joliet the other day and I played at the Hollywood Casino, their harder surface table, my dice were either landing flat and rolling like 2 turns, and they came the rest right up against the wall, or it was hitting the wall and coming slightly off a little bit. But the energy levels are pretty low, believe it or not, with my toss. Unless I don't have the arc. If I don't have the arc in there, then they do pick up a little bit of energy. Dice out. And we have a 1-4-5. That's the truck and camper, the horse and buggy. So we're starting to get on a little bit of a rhythm here, hitting these inside numbers. And we're going to bring that 5 up to $15. And I'm bringing it up, I'm trend betting up slow so we can get some money brought back to the rack. Again, we lost a little bit of money on that first shooter. Yeah, it definitely does look like I'm zooming from my launch point. Let's do this once. Let's, maybe you guys could see a little bit different. It's going to give you a different viewpoint here. Hopefully. It'll take away my hand grip for just a little bit. We'll try this just for a little bit so you can actually see what I'm talking about. And let's go all bets set here. Dice out. 96 brought back to the rack. 53 on the table. And that last one was a 1-4. So it was a double pitch on that right die. And that was an implosion on the left die. Get dice up. And we have a ace deuce Alfredo sauce. That left one took off after it landed. So I don't know if that helped Buckeye. If you saw that, I will try it one more time at this camera angle, and then I'm going to put my camera back down. So, and that 3 is no help for us. All we need is that 4 for the small. And I'm going to call that a bad mechanics on that throw because of the way that left die took off on us. And let's call that all bets set here and dice out. And that one was a little bit higher energy because of where the dice landed. But we have a 4-5 big hard 9 Big Daddy Mac. So the hard 9 Big Daddy Mac, we got lucky on that one. That one sailed about an inch or 2 past my normal landing zone. And I did release just a touch late on that, but we picked up the 9. Again, we're going to make that 9 look like $15 now. And if I hit any of these inside numbers other than the 8, what I'll do is I'm going to use the profit to pick up the 4 and 10 so that we have numbers all the way across, because we have $111 brought back, 58 on the table. That was a double pitch on the left die. And that was a implosion on the right die. And we had a 4 showing. We had a 4 showing on 3 of the last 4 dice. So let's go. All bets set. Last throw at this camera angle, and I'm going to put it back to the normal view. And dice out. And again, remember, guys, I do appreciate the feedback in the comments in the chat here. This is a journey for all of us. I do not know everything, so trust me on that. So I am always looking for input. Dice out. And a little bit long again, but we have a 145 trucking camper again. So that is another 4 showing. So that's going to allow us now to, let me get this camera angle fixed here, so you guys can see the grip a little bit easier in that, and the launch point. But that's going to be $21 brought back. So now we're going to pick up that 4 and 10 for $10 a piece. Yes, you're 100% accurate in that, Buckeye. But I find that if you can get in a groove, that is, you can start making some similar tosses, if you will. Nothing's gonna be perfect, but you could be similar in that nature. Anyhow, 132 brought back, 78 on the table now, and we need that 4 for the small. We need 10 and 12 for the tall. Let's go all bets set, and dice out. And we have a 2-3-5, Justice 5. So let's see if we can break Jeff's record today. My record on the table and a live stream was somewhere in the high 40s. I think it was around 46 or 47, somewhere around there. So let's see if we can knock that out. If I can, that'd be pretty flippin' amazing. I would surprise even myself. But we're going to go to $25 on that 5. 153 brought back the rack, 88 on the table. And that was a single pitch on the left die. That was a primary on the, I'm sorry, single pitch on the left die, primary on the right die. And let's go, all bets said. Brian saying, let's see, a Big Joe. So anyhow, all bets said here. Dice out. These are not comfortable. Let's regrip them here. There we go. And we got a 6-5 mid-mo yo again. We are doing that drift of the dice again. So hopefully, FK, I didn't upset you with that explanation, but guys, this is a journey for all of us. I want to try to explain things as we go here. This is about playing Crapsee and shooting the dice at the table, but it's also about learning and trying to train myself for the most part, and you guys as well, on how to interpret the dice. That is what this black belt level is going to be about. Again, we're going to be doing 1,000 throws on that 3V dice set, whether it's the cousin 1 or cousin 2. By the way, that was a repeater win. That is awesome. But trying to train ourselves on this 3V dice set. And then the second 1,000 throws is going to be on the 2V dice set. And then the third 1,000 throws will be on the cross 6s. And then the 2,000 throws after that will be rhythm rolling, advanced style, amongst all 3 of them. So let's go all bets set here and dice out. And we got a 5-2-7, ouch. So that roll comes to an end. Jeff is safe. I'm not going to be breaking any records that he has there. But we did do a little bit of recovery on this shooter, so that was a good shooter. We have definitely enough time to do at least one more shooter here. So we made $65 on that, so we definitely made our profit back that we had lost in that last shooter. And let's up our ante a little bit here now that we know what's going on. We'll start off again with the 3236, which we have not ventured off for the most part on our dice sets here. And let's go $20 pass line this time. Let's go 555 on an ATS. And let's go with a $3 pass line, or craps check. And let's call this all bets set here. Dice out. We have Las Wages in first place on Crapsee at $939 or $38. He's playing, and we have Mr. Lucky at $102 is playing right now. And then we have $77 for Roger OMC Craps. So, okay. Looking for a new point. This is going to be shooter number 3 for the day. Dice out. And we have a 617. And that one I kind of felt coming, and the reason I felt that coming is because the dice were split slightly in my fingers. And that seems to be the trend. If I don't reset them or regrip them, that does show a version of the 7. So I'm going to call that in. And that's something that you get to know as you get going on throwing the dice and practicing. You know what some of your bad habits are, and I guess that would be one of my bad habits. So let's repeat that last bet. $20 pass line bet, $3 craps check, 555 on the ATS. We did make $2 on that last one. So let's use, no, we're going to keep it the same. We'll go same as what we are. So anyhow, let's go all bets set. We got 19 people watching on YouTube. We got 7 likes. Make sure you smash that button. 3236. Dice out. And that time we have a 5-1 KitchenAid mixer. Both dice landed at the wall and they bounced almost straight up. I mean, that right one went almost up as far as this. It went off screen, actually. Which I don't know if you caught something on the layout there or what. And again, like I said, if you didn't know that my table is really bouncy, you would suspect that I am throwing it really, really hard. And we got Jeff checking in. Jeff, your record is safe. I was pounding for it on that last shooter, and we died out at 17. So I was a little bit short of what you rolled yesterday. So congratulations goes out to Jeff. And he did throw a lot of 3-1-4s yesterday. In fact, his 69 row are actually the entire day. He had 12 4s, I think, that he threw yesterday out of all of his rolls and that. So we got Demon Dog Chris checking in on YouTube. Good morning. So anyhow, let's go. We're going a little bit different here. We're going to go 128 across bet level. So this could be $20 on a 4, 5, 9, and 10. We got $24 on the 8. We are not doing any pass line odds. That was a 516, so that was a single pitch on that left die. That was a single pitch on the left die, so that was ultimately a primary hit on the back side. So 3236. And let's go all bets set. And when I had the nice roll down in at Hollywood the other day, again, Demon Dog was witness. I did rhythm rolling the entire time, and I just did the basic rhythm rolling. So I was staying with the cousin one set the entire way through, and I would Sometimes they would send them back to me on the result of the dice. Other times they did not. And if they did not, I would always set the result on top, and then I would roll it towards me, then do the rhythm rolling from there. So, and it seemed to work for me quite nicely. And again, Chris, good morning, John. Chris, comment in the chat. Do I have a high energy throw or a low energy throw? Dice out. And we have a 415 trucking camper. That's a double pitch on that left die. That is a single pitch on the right die, so it's ultimately a single pitch of the dice. John's going all through financial stuff this week again on his coffee run show. Good morning, Duracell, checking in. So again, double pitch on the left die, single pitch on the right die, ultimately single pitch. So that was a 6 for our point. We have a 5 that we hit. So let's do regression 1 unit across. So we're going to go to 96 across bet level. And it's $27 brought back. So there we go. Buckeye, Demon Dog is confirming it's actually lower than he thought. So anyhow, 3-2, 3-6. When I was landing the dice there, they were rolling forward maybe 2 or 3 turns, if that, and barely touching the wall a lot of times. So anyhow, let's go all bets set here and dice out. 10 people in Crapsee. We got 21 people watching on YouTube now. That was a weird landing, guys. They landed and crossed and didn't go forward at all. So we have a 3-2, Justice 5. 5 was a hot number today. That was terrible mechanics because the dice did not get to the end of the back wall. I do actually want them to touch the back wall. Not hard, but I do want them to touch. And again, that was our next hits here. We're going to come down to 44 inside. Remember, we are playing a $10 table here. So we've got $67 on the table because of that ATS bet. $10 on the 5 and 9, $12 on that 8 right now, $20 pass line bet. So let's see if we can hit that pass line bet. That was a primary on the left. That was an explosion on that right. 3-2-3-6. And let's call that all bets set here. Make sure you press that I am ready button, please. FG's going first warning, sir. Please hit the back wall. It was, like I said, at that long row I had at Hollywood the other day, I had a couple of them that didn't hit the back wall, not too many, but all of a sudden they got towards 3/4 of the way through the row, and one of them did not hit the back wall, and the box guy goes, sir, you need you to hit the back wall. And I looked at him, and I said, I'm trying, my friend, I'm trying. And they didn't say anything to me after that then. They were actually, the staff was actually super quiet, which really surprised me. But all bets set here, dice out. And we have a 4-6-10. That is Waylon's best friend weighing it in, Daddy Joe. And I think that is our first 10 for the day. It is. Wow. So some days I throw a lot of 4s and 10s. Other days, not so much. Today is one of those not so much. But let's see if we can start trending them over towards the 10. Unfortunately, that was no help for me. I have nothing on the 10 right now. But that does help extend a row. I do have an ATS bet, so that helps go towards that. That was a double pitch on that left die. That was a single pitch on the right die, so ultimately that was a single pitch of the die. So get your bets in here. And let's go. All bets set here. And dice out. Good morning, Dice Dr. Dan. And we have a 5-2-7, ouch. That left eye barely touched the back wall. The right one did pop up and jump back a little bit. And we lost a couple dollars off of that, but not too much. So 6 rows long. So hopefully majority of you guys should have been out of that row or pretty close to being out of the row. And this will be our last shooter coming up, 3236. We're gonna go again, try to do a little bit of recovery off of this one. We're just about we're exactly where we started off the day. So we did not make money today. We did not lose money today. We're actually at ground zero. I agree, John. John goes, it's a dick move when they ask you to hit the back wall. Like, no shit, Sherlock. I'm on roll 47. You think I don't know the rules? That is so true. I was in Green Bay a few months ago, and I was shooting. It was the first time I shot from stick right one in a casino. I was practicing all the time, and I had a roll that was probably, and Brian Fliegel was there. He was in the chat right now. He was witness to that one. I had a roll where it was probably close to 20 rolls long, and I will not kid you, I probably hit the back wall on half of the throws. It was so hilarious because they were coming down and landing and sticking to the layout, probably about an inch away from the back wall on at least half of the throws, and they were getting upset with me. But I was like, I'm trying. They're like, throw harder. I said, well, I'm kind of getting weak in my old age here. That guy just looks at me and shakes his head. It was kind of funny. $25 pass line bet. We're going to go $5 craps check. We're going to go 555 on the ATS. And let's call that all bets set here. Dice out. And we have a 5-4 hard 9 Big Daddy Max. So 9 will be our first point for this shooter. And that is going to be a single pitch on the left die. It's a double pitch on the right die. So ultimately, it's a single pitch of the dice. Yeah, and Brian right there is the witness. I had one of them that stopped right at the pass line, and both dice, and they didn't roll forward, they didn't roll backwards, they just came down and they stuck. It was kind of funny. Again, I don't like that because I do want them to hit the back wall, because if it's not hitting the back wall, that's not a normal toss for me. And anything that's not normal, I get scared from that. But we're going to go 160 cross, and let's do a bit of a drawdown here. So let's call that all bets set here. We got $25 on a 4, 5, and 10. We got $30 on a 6 and 8, 25 on the pass line bet, 555 on the ATS, and dice out. Okay, Slim, have a good day. Thank you. Here we go. And we have a 4, 5, 9. That is a Buckeye buckshot. So Slim gets out of the chat, and we throw a Buckeye buckshot right away. So point hit, point set, point hit. So again, we're going to be looking for a new point, and we're going to bring our bets down to our pass line down to $15 this time. So we're going to reduce that as well a little bit. So make that look like 15. Oops, wrong denominations there. 15. We're going to go $3 crap check. We got $20 brought back to the rack after everything is all said and done. 160 on the table. Remember, all of our box numbers are turned off right now. That was a double pitch on that left die, and that was an implosion on the right die. So we got to watch again. Watch out for that double pitch here. And we'll call it all bets set. Looking for a new point. This is shooter number 4 for the day. And again, if you guys didn't check out Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps yesterday, he had an amazing first roll, 69 points rolls long. Four, three, seven. That left one jumped up and rolled back. And guys, that is, like I said, not to use it as an excuse, but having a bouncy table does train you to throw light, low energy. But if you watch the dice, I mean, they bounce big time, no matter how soft you throw them. So again, we're going to go back up again, 555 on that ATS. $3 craps check. So that was a Cookie Monster. Yum, 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 yum. As Brian would call it, 437. And let's go all bets set here. If I use the correct dice set, that would be nice. Here we go, dice out. Base line is super tight and tight together. And we have OMC Craps, all the dots and all the spots, midnight. So we got one of the bookends. That's the first one for the day. If you watch that in slow-mo, the dice landed super tight together and they split apart, which is usually a bad sign. So that mechanical-wise, I consider it a good throw, but mechanical-wise, that was not a good throw. So we really can't analyze the dice too much off of that throw. Still looking for a new point. Again, we're going to go back up $15 pass line bet that we made like $6 off of that throw. So let's do this one. So let's throw another dollar on the craps check. And we'll put the rest of it in our rack here. So we'll call this all bets set and dice out. And a 617. So we're still looking for a point here. But we have everything protected on there for the most part. That pass line will cover that ATS betting, and the only thing we lost is our craps check on that one. Box numbers are still turned off though. But these come out sevens are killing the SRR today, and our SOR is not great. Again, our goal for the black belt level is going to be a 10.5 or better SOR, and we finished in our nines, guys. Fives and sevens. Yep, everything seems to trend there, Dan. 555 on the ATS again. We'll go $3 craps check. Again, we'll go with this dice set here, 3236. And let's go all bet sets. Dice out. Dice split apart a little bit in air, but we have the 4-5 hard 9 Big Mac again. So that is a repeat dice combination that is starting to show up a little more frequently today. Double pitch on that right or left eye. So we're getting a lot of double pitches. It's a implosion on the right die. So we're back on that 9 right away. And we're going to keep our bets as they are right now. So we can take one hit and we'll reduce them or draw them down on our next hit. That's one of the bad things about hitting that pass line, hitting that point, because it's hard to play that that way. So. And let's call this all bets set here. Dice out. So they're still saying, you know, John and everybody else, don't take it as personal when they ask you to hit the back wall, because they're doing their job, which I agree. But some pit bosses, some box guys are not the most tactful when they do it. This one, fortunately, was tactful. And we have a 3-5 Great 8. Leon from Great Craps. So this one, fortunately, was reasonable when he said it. He just kind of looked up at me. He says, "Hey, shooter hit the back wall." In fact, I think he might have used my name because he had it in the computer right in front of him. The primary on the left eye, that was implosion on the right eye. So he was pretty decent about it, I guess. And that was an 8, so we're going to draw our bets down. We're going to bring it down to the 4-unit bet level. So we went from the 5-unit level to the 4-unit level. Whoops. And we got $20 on a 4, 5, and 10. We got 24 on a 6 and 8. $51 brought back, 138 on the table. And again, we're looking for a second hit here so we can bring our bets down to either the 44 insider or the 64 cross bet level. Let's see how it is and which number hits here. So let's call that all bets set. Dice up. 22 people watching on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button. We got 12 likes so far. Dice out. And we have a 2-2 hard for the Ian double deuce. So that is one of the numbers that I did want to have hit. So we hit that 4 finally for the day. Again, 4s and 10s have not been hitting much today. The difference on that one now is I pulled that landing zone a little bit back and I flattened the throw out, so it did not bounce as much, and it actually kind of rolled once they hit. That was a single pitch on that left eye and an explosion on the right eye. And we're going to bring our bets down to 64 cross bet level. And that's going to be $90 brought back to rack, 84 on the table currently. So we're definitely in a profit again, the second shooter for the day, and we're 8 rolls in finally. But remember, we had how many come out 7s to start off with on this roll? We had, for this shooter, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls before we got to point set. Once we got to point set, we got into profit within 2 shooters, or 2 shots. So that's exactly what Blue Collar Craps is all about, is getting to break even as fast as humanly possible, and then trying to profit off of any rolling thereafter. So dice out. Kind of pulled down a little bit. We got lucky. We have a 3-2 Justice 5. So the 5 is definitely continuing to be hot here today. 3-2-5. And I know I haven't mentioned this for a few days. The shooter tournament for Craps Nation's coming up, guys. We have an anticipated start date of March 1st. So make sure, if you are interested, make sure you go to the Skype chat room and get your name in. Good morning, Biff. Get your name in. I want to see a lot of people in the competition. Remember, the first round is the top 32, I believe, so they're going to narrow everybody down to the top 32 shooters, and then they'll actually start the tournament from there. So the first one is an elimination round to get your top 32, and I'm thinking there's going to be somewhere between 50 to 75, 50 to 100 people in the tournament this time, so that would be awesome to see all that. We had a 5 in the last one, so we're going to make that 5 look like $15. And we'll call that all bets set here. 3, 2, 3, 6 is the dice set. And dice out. A little shorter landing zone. The dice did cross on me. Again, we have a 2-2 Ian double deuce. That one's pretty far over there. The 2-2. Let's go on a cruise, says Brian from Holy Roller. And again, 3236. Single pitch on that left die. That was an explosion on the right die. We're going to go to $15 on that 4. My batteries on my mouse are starting to go dead. 122 brought back to the rack, 94 on the table. This is our second double-digit roll for the day. And let's go all bets set here. Dice out. Slightly long on that line zone. We have a 1-5 KitchenAid mixer. So that was an implosion of that left die. That was a implosion of the right die. So we had a double implosion of the dice. That was, I think, the first time we've done a double implosion today. So the 6, we're going to make that 6 look like $18. Let's actually make the 6 and 8 look like $18. We'll bring them both up 1 unit. So we're trying to get to 96 across bet level as fast as possible. The only one we need to bring up is that 10. After that, we are trying to get to 96, or the 160 cross is the next goal. Then 136 right back to the rack. We got 106 on the table. We need 2 and 3 for the small. We need a 10, 11, and 12 for the tall. And we have a 314. That is our first Big Joe from Crapsmaster Journey. 314. So the 4s are starting to show up finally. And that's going to allow us to go to $25 on that 4. And that was a single pitch on the right die. That was a primary on the left die. So ultimately, a single pitch overall, both dice on axis. And let's call that all bets set. Get those buttons pressed, please. And dice out. They crossed and then they rolled over. We have a 6. OMC craps, all the dots and all spots. Hard 6, hard 12, midnight, whatever term you want to use. So that would be midnight. So we need the 10 and 11 for the tall. We got one of the bookends out of the way. That was mechanically not a great throw. They both hit the back wall and they just traveled right to the left. So I must have had a slight wrist twist in there. That's no help for our bets. We have got 40 rolls in for the day so far. And we'll call that all bets set here. Dice out. And we have an ace deuce Alfredo sauce. Awesome. Again, no help for the bets. That does help us towards that ATS. Now all we need is the magic aces, which I normally don't throw a lot of. So this is a crap shot if we can get it. I'm not really changing the sets around today. I've stuck with the 3-2-3-6 pretty much because we finally are getting in a rhythm, if you will. Even though some of the dice results are not favorable for me to stick with that 3-2-3-6. But this is one of the things that you really need to interpret when you're at the table. If you're getting that rhythm, stick with what's working. Don't bounce around. But if we have consistent throws, consistent landing zones, consistent everything, but massively different dice sets, our dice results, that's when we'll start doing some changing that. But we're hanging in here, so dice out. Slightly long in that line zone, and the roll does come to an end. 2, 5, 7 out. So we got close to hitting that part of the ATS there. But that is the roll for the day. We had a decent shooter to end the roll. We ended with a 2-5. Let's go over to our statistics on KPI. So our statistics for today was 4 shooters long. We had a 4, a 6, a 17, and a 15. That 17 roller had some pretty good roll quality points there. Our strong numbers today was that 5 and definitely that 7 because we had so many come out 7s and slightly the mid-below the 11. We hit our goal SOR today of 10.5. SRR was terrible though with all those come out 7s. So box numbers are low today, inside numbers are low, 4s and 10s are low, come out 7s are high, horns are high, fields are low, hardways are low. So everything was way below expected or below the average. Now, looking at our black belt statistics, this is through the end of yesterday, our first session. We had 32 rolls, and we had an SOR of 5.3, which is a miserable start there. 4.6 SOR. Today's results will bring that up. If you look at our goals on the bottom right-hand side, at the current moment, our black belt goals are getting the SOR up to a 10.5. An SRR of 7.5, and then we're adding in now the BSR, which is a new matrix that will be tracking. So we're gonna, I don't really know what that BSR number should be as far as a good number. So we're gonna kind of play with that number as we go through the program or through the black belt level here. But currently we're at a 3.33 of the BSR. That number will come up today, though. I can guarantee that. But hey, my name is Joe. This is my Craps Master Dice Shooting Journey. Let's make it yours too. Make sure you jump over to the Daily Paycheck with John at the Casino Gaming TV. Have a great day, everyone. Be safe and be prosperous.